Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday night, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the very first, the Big Gobble. This is a replacement, a weekly stream, a replacement of my previous Tuesday show called the News Flash Disney. And I just completed a live stream a few minutes ago, kind of going into that, the reasoning behind it, delving into kind of it and kind of, why it's ending, why I'm starting a little bit, kind of putting a little closure on Newsflash Disney. So welcome in. Howdy, Dawn. Welcome in. Hitchhiking Bones. Hitchhiking Bones will be live in an hour. Sorry. Ooh. At the top, that's what I meant to say. At the top of this next hour, in like 60 minutes, basically. So check them out. If you're watching in the replay, if you're watching this on a replay, you'll have another stream to go watch in a replay. I definitely recommend you go. Always not a cough. It's usually a great time. Sorry, I don't know what. I've been eating some nuts. Got some walnuts and some cashews. So anyway, welcome to the Big Gobble. I have a couple of big turkey legs over there. And one segment that I will be launching next week. I will be a part of this stream. Will officially start next week. Is called 123 Disney. 123 Disney is going to be my way of still bringing some Disney news to this weekly stream. But it won't take as long. I'll probably be able to talk about everything in 5-ish minutes. So Disney, or what's it called? 123 Disney is going to be, I picked 3 items from the week that are towards the top, very interesting, super interesting. The most interesting updates or big, huge, exciting announcements out of Disney from the previous week, from the week, Tuesday to Monday, or Tuesday, for the past about 7 days. 3 items, and I will talk about those usually in the first maybe 10 minutes of the show, like right about here. I might welcome in some people, then maybe like 5 minutes into the stream, I will talk about, cover the Disney news, and then we'll go into the next part of the stream, which is the part I'm really excited. It will either be a talking about something, going into talking some subject, some question, some issue, a discussion. Eventually, I want to explore the possibility of bringing on special guests. That'll be down the road. So it's going to be fun. Play games, some Disney trivia. I have got the one thing I may experiment with one night. I don't know if it will work, but I want to try it one night sometime in the near future. Tuesday night, I want to try to open up the lines. I've got the Turkey Legster hotline. and that says text, but you can also call that. And so what I will do is invite people to call that number, and I'll put you on speakerphone, and you maybe have a little 1 minute back and forth. So hello, Diana, welcome in. Mandy, welcome. So yeah, great things happening with time. Wanted to open up the possibilities. So tonight, though, I am going to talk about some Disney news. So this is going to seem a little more newsflash Disney-ish for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to go into something that happened over the weekend out in California. They have this thing they do every few years out there. Big Disney convention, the D23 Expo is it happens. And usually they have they use this biannual event to announce big things coming in the parks. And I believe this is the very first year, I think it is the very first year that they have live streamed it on YouTube. And so I watched, Sunday was the day they talk about all of the parks stuff. And so that was kind of fun. It was, I don't know how much everyone watching, if you are following it or have had a chance to catch up, but they announced things for like all the Disney parks. They did talk about Walt Disney World. They talked about Disneyland. Disneyland's getting some things. Tokyo, Disney Tokyo is getting some things. But let me kind of focus on what they announced for Disney World, because that's my home resort. Okay, here we go. D23 Expo. This is article from WDW News Today, Walt Disney World News Today. They've got this article from September the 11th, which was Sunday. And so they've got all the items, updates from there. They have a section for Disneyland. I will skip that. So then we've got Walt Disney World. First item announced, making everyone happy, is that Happily Ever After is returning to Magic Kingdom next year at the completion of the 50th anniversary. Happily Ever After is going to return. However, it won't be the show in its original form. The song will return within the context of a brand new show. And let me just click on the article so I get all the pertinent details right. I like that word, pertinent. Get the pertinent details right, son. So the Happily Ever After anthem will return as a part of an updated spectacular and is expected to resemble the well-known Happily Ever After fireworks we all know and love. So it'll have the Happily Ever song, Happily Ever After song, but it will be a different show. And of course, that will replace the Disney Enchantment, which replaced the original Happily Ever After back last year in October for the 50th. So that was exciting. I'm happy to hear that that's coming back. I know Happily Ever After's leaving was a huge thing. It was a really huge thing for people. And then Enchantment kind of failed to impress, especially at the beginning. Disney has tweaked. Most recently, they've tweaked it with a little tag at the beginning with Walt, Mickey, and Roy. Walt and Roy, Disney, and Mickey Mouse. And I actually hope they keep that tag or do a similar one for the new show. The new show that's coming is for they're going to be kicking off 100 Years of Wonder for the Disney company. This is going to be at Disneyland, at Disney World, probably at some of the international parks. But I hope they keep that that tag. Tron Light Cycle Run. They have not given us a specific date yet, but we do know it was confirmed it will be in spring of 2023. Seems like they keep dragging this on. I feel, although I have a suspicion, like Disney kind of sees this as an opportunity to give an opportunity to draw people after the 50th. So when they say spring 2023, I am suspecting and predicting that it's going to be sometime in April of 2023. Could be in March, but I'm suspecting it's going to be in April because the 50th celebration will be ending at the end of March, and they're gonna need something to draw people, to, give people a reason to come after their wonderful celebration, which I won't make any more comments. Diana, it's been a long time. I heard one video I watched over the weekend. They said by the time it opens, it will have been over 5 years. Over 5 years since it they've started the construction. And then the railroad, hopefully the railroad will come back. Hopefully they'll be able to bring that back before, but I don't know. So, spring 2023, Tron Light Cycle Run, the Walt Disney World Railroad, possibly before that. The Hatbox Ghost is coming to the Haunted Mansion at Magic Kingdom. It's been over in the Disneyland. They're going to add it to Walt Disney World Magic Kingdoms. Another show that is a change, an announcement that shocked me. It just shocked me. And I really don't understand why Disney's doing this. They are replacing Harmonious with a new nighttime spectacular for the 100 Years of Wonder at Epcot. Oh, hi, Mike. Welcome in. Excuse me. I'm sure Diana appreciates that, Mike, very much. So the Epcot Nighttime Spectacular will replace Harmonious in 2023 for 100 Years of Wonder and the upcoming 40th anniversary of Epcot, which makes no sense to me because the 40th anniversary of Epcot is technically October 1st, coming up here in 2.5 weeks, and it's gonna be late. So unless they're planning on the 40th of Epcot dragging out for ever, then that makes no sense. But I'm gonna miss Harmonious. I actually like Harmonious, the show. I, of course, with almost everyone on the planet, have an issue with those big barges being out in the middle of the World Showcase Lagoon. It's just a real damper when you're trying to watch a sunset from China and Norway. You just get this terrible view. Really, Diana? Well, I am. I'm not going to get into that discussion between Mike and Diana, but anyway, Harmonious premiered on October 1st last year, and yeah. So maybe after they're done with this whole 100 Years of Wonder, they will bring Harmonious back. Hopefully they do that. And hopefully they are not removing the barges after only a year and a half of Harmonious. Hopefully they're using the barges in this new show. That's right, Don. Tons of news. It was kind of like people that talk a lot but don't say anything. I call that verbal diarrhea. What else? A Figment meet and greet. This is a good piece of news. A Figment meet and greet will open in Epcot in 2023. Very exciting. No news about the Imagination attraction, but I will come back to that thought in a minute. Journey of Water. Okay, Journey of Water, inspired by Moana and the Communicore Hall, which are all in the center part of Epcot, will open in late 2023. That's a project. That is a project that's been dragging on for a while. So they did announce that they are looking at some ideas. This is the interesting thing. I felt like during this part of the presentation, I felt like I was in the middle of a brainstorming session with the Imagineers, because they went into, okay, we're thinking about doing this to Dinoland USA, and they needed to do this for a little while, but they're finally looking at it. Great. They started like, oh, well, what if we put Moana in there? Well, no, what they started with, what if we put Zootopia in there? Okay, Zootopia is an idea that's been floated. It's going into, they're doing a whole Zootopia land over in one of the Asian parks. Someone help me. I think Shanghai is getting it, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Zootopia was, floated as an idea to go in that section. Some other ideas that had come up that I've heard people say on streams that I was thinking on my list that were possibilities were also the Jungle Book, Indiana Jones, Up, were other ideas that I had. And then, Moana is kind of a shock here. And they released some concept art, but this stuff is all early in development, so I mean they could completely change up things. What else? Oh, and over in the Magic Kingdom, this is where I really just felt like really vague, and we're just really in this huge brainstorming session. They're talking about, they go into this whole, let's take a journey beyond Thunder Mountain. We're going to journey beyond Thunder Mountain. What if we have Encanto, Coco, then a villain's land, a land running over with villains. And it was all like, what if we did this? What if we could do this? And they didn't actually say we're doing this. So that's what I would have liked to hear from Disney. Yes, it was their kind of romanticized way to say, this is on the list, this is on the table, this is what we're thinking of. So they're kind of giving it a romantic, glamorous for a thing. I don't know. So Coco, Encanto, Disney villains. Jeeping Joy, welcome in. Hello. Yeah, it was all very confusing. Here's what I would like to see. I would like them to not do Moana in Animal Kingdom. I like them to do, since they're thinking about Zootopia, go ahead and do Zootopia. Dinoland USA has always seemed to me to be a little more like the kid-friendly section of the park. So Zootopia would fit the bill for something brand new in there. It's animals, even though they're all dressed up in clothes, except for that one yak guy. We won't. Anyway, so yeah, I'd like them to just not do Moana in there. Zootopia, they could do so much with Zootopia in that space, with all of the city and the environments. And I just feel like that's trying to do too much in that section. Okay, what else? We talked about their new cruise line, the new cruise ship, the Disney Treasure. There's going to also be the new Disney Cruise Line destination, the island, Lighthouse Point. So that's all I have on this article. What else? But yeah, I think that, the thing with me is that the thing that I'm thinking about is the other thing they did not even mention is, well, they did mention it. They revealed a new model they have for the Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And they, it looks different from the original concept art from a couple years ago. And, which is a trend that's been happening with Disney, where what you get is different from the concept art, becoming a fairly normal thing. I've also heard rumors that there might be they might plan on doing a New Orleans Square themed area in Magic Kingdom around where that ride is. So I don't know. I think in the back of my mind, I've got this nagging suspicion that when they say beyond Big Thunder Mountain, they're considering, and they're just not saying, and I'll say it out loud, that they are considering taking out Big Thunder Mountain. Because if they're retheming the Splash Mountain for the Tiana ride, if they're thinking about going beyond Thunder Mountain with all these themed areas, they got to somehow go around Big Thunder Mountain. They've got the Rivers of America there, the Liberty Bell, Tom Sawyer Island, which if they want to do all these new areas, they're probably, unfortunately, looking at using that space, either altering the rivers and kind of cutting the Liberty Bell route either in half or taking it out altogether, which is would be a shame. But I'm thinking, I don't think they would take out Big Thunder, but it's all very suspicious to me because they're retheming that part with the Tiana ride. They might want to have an area, kind of a Liberty, not Liberty Square, but the Port Orleans, that side. And then if they want to go beyond Big Thunder Mountain, they might want to use that space if they're going on the filling, if they're using the river, that area. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. They did mention that this is the early stages of development, and they're still looking at concepts. Some of the kind of commentaries and everything, I know I've heard it kind of mentioned out there that by saying a land overrun by villains doesn't necessarily mean a part of a park. It could mean a fifth park. And I don't think that's likely. I don't think that a fifth park is likely anytime soon, at least before the next D23 Expo would happen, because I think even an announcement, because I feel like Walt Disney World is behind on projects like Tron, like Epcot, the middle of Epcot. They've got Dinoland USA. They've got these projects that they're behind on, that they have having labor issues, supply issues, from the last few years. And maybe they're considering a fifth park, but I don't see it being likely. I don't see Disney doing that the way they've been operating the current parks, the way the current projects are being, operated, treated. So that's my thought on that, is that I don't see a fifth park coming for Disney anytime soon. But anyway, in addition to some of the parks announcements, there was also a whole slew of Disney Plus announcements. A lot of Disney Plus titles. Let me see if I can. WDW News Today did an article. I saw an article. I really should have brought it up. Anyway, there's a lot of, and that's true, Mike. There's a lot of things with, just economically, inflation, all that going on, that also, is against a fifth park really making sense right now. So it would be more likely that they would want to do more, expand within the park. That is more likely. But here's the thing. Here, let me just wrap up the parks thing. It doesn't make sense to me to add a villains to all three of these ideas, Coco, Encanto, and the villains. I would say two of the three makes more sense because they have more room to fit 2 versus 3. Here's what I would like to see happen. If they want to do something Coco, put Coco in the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot. That's been kind of a rumor for a while, and I've heard people say here and there, oh, Coco will fit great, for, the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot. And they've been putting the IP into all of the other countries. So, I mean, this shouldn't be a problem. So I would say put Coco, review the river ride, the 3 Caballeros. As fun as the 3 Caballeros, is, it's been there for a little while. I mean, Disney's been replacing and retheming everything. not everything else, but other things. So, it's, time. They could even, they could even redo the ride and not have it be a water ride, a boat ride, but, a re-theme of that ride would be so much more, would make so much more sense. I don't know. I'm just talking. Oh, hi, Tina. Welcome in. Hello. Um, so Disney Plus, I'm not finding the article, and I should have found it before. Disney Plus Day was actually last Thursday. Last Thursday was Disney Plus Day on the 8th, and Disney Plus released several new titles, movies. The live action Pinocchio came out, which I watched. They had a series called Cars on the Road. And I watched the first episode of that. It looks fun. When I have time, I'll continue it. And I watched the first, I don't know, maybe a half hour of the Thor: Love and Thunder. And then I had to get onto some things, and then the stream. So I'll finish that. Probably finish that tomorrow. But so it seems like a fun movie so far. But Disney Plus, there's got a lot of titles. There's Star Wars titles, Marvel titles, series, movies. I guess series and movies. One title I'm kind of interested in is there's a series coming from Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi. It's an animated series that explores the backstory, the stories of Anakin and Ahsoka, and also Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn. Count Dooku before he actually, turned to the dark side, kind of his looked like, yeah. So that looked interesting. I think they announced there's a third season of The Mandalorian. Ahsoka's coming out. Andor, the series Andor, is starting in a couple of weeks. I'm probably missing something. I didn't write down all this stuff. But then there's the Marvel things. I know there's a second Loki season coming. I won't be watching that. Sorry, the first one was just very, very blah to me. I didn't understand it. It was very like Alice in Wonderland to me. It just nothing made sense to me. It was all just, so I won't be watching that series, but I know there's a lot of Loki fans that will be happy to watch that when it comes out. Did I mention The Mandalorian? Yeah, The Mandalorian season 3. I'll definitely watch that. What else? There was a confirmation from Mr. Harrison Ford about the 5th Indiana Jones, which is a movie I'm looking forward to. Harrison Ford confirmed that this Indiana Jones will be the final one. And I'm wondering if it will be his final movie too. The reason I say that is because there was I read a piece not too long ago that John Williams is going to be, that Indiana Jones 5 will be his last movie before he, retires, So I'm just kind of wondering if Harrison Ford is looking at, hanging up the fedora. But then there's Disney, there's Disney Pixar stuff. There's Disney animated stuff coming out. And they have lists of this everywhere. What time is it? 9:35. Okay. Let's see here. So, yeah. Okay, I'm seeing if I can find a Disney Plus, a list of everything coming to Disney Plus. Come on, WW News Today. Let's go. Come on. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's a dream away. Do 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 do. Oh, there's a series, The Santa Clauses. Don, I don't know that John Williams, the Harrison Ford is a speculation. I know for sure that John Williams said that in Indiana Jones 5 will be likely his last movie. But if Harrison Ford also retires, I mean, it might make sense. I mean, he's getting up there. All right, I'm getting down here. Apparently, there's been more news than I thought. Bad Batch Season 2, which was the as a Star Wars. It was like the continuation of the Clone Wars. That's coming out. Anyway, I'm not finding it. Let's not waste time on that tonight. Let's not waste time on that tonight. So let me go back to, I know Dawn said she watched Pinocchio. Mixed feelings on it. Let me show that. Mixed feelings on it, not a home run. I have to generally agree with that. I'd say Pinocchio, it stays, the live actions are definitely not doing anywhere as good as the classics. Partly because the classics are just that, the classics. And partly because, when they do the live action, they kind of switch around some things. Although, as far as my assessment of the live actions that I've seen, and I think I've seen all the live actions. No, there's a few I've missed. I didn't see the Mulan live action. I didn't see the Lady and the Tramp or the Dumbo. But as far as all the other live action movies that I've seen, I'd say Pinocchio is towards the top of the list. They did as good as they've done, about as good as they've done with the live actions, in my view. There were a couple things I would have liked to see change. And I don't think I want to go into that quite yet. Just because it's been out less than a week. And in case you guys have not seen it yourselves, I don't want to, give too many spoilers. I was going to say, I do think they generally did a good job with the way they told the story. Their rendition of, if that's a word, their version of Pinocchio, that was a great animation on that. They added a couple of characters in the story that I wasn't a huge fan of. They tweaked Monstro a little bit, which I think worked for the movie. And they changed some stuff at the ending. I wasn't expecting, but in watching it, it made me cry. And it's been a while since a movie, made me cry, towards the end. But it was interesting that how they switched some things at the end. And that's really oh, I didn't notice that, Don. Wasn't really the I think I was just kind of caught up in taking in the movie. I'm really bad about noticing everything that goes on, the details sometimes. I'm just caught up in in the moment. I'm caught up in kind of the story. I'd have to watch the movie again to kind of see the casting of Tom Hanks as Geppetto. I think was a really good choice. Anyway, I'm gonna stop at that. I don't want to give any more. I'm not really, I'm not going to go into that anymore. I will go back. I will come back to my Pinocchio review next week. That'll, if anyone watching has not seen it yet, I'm going to talk about it next week. It'll be one of my 1, 2, 3. No, actually, it'll be right after, after the 1, 2, 3. I'll just talk about it. So anyway, yeah. So that is about it for tonight's stream. As I mentioned, I am gonna, newsflash, Disney is a thing of the past. It's on the back burner. No, it's on the back shelf, though. It's gonna collect dust for a little while, but I'm not totally, canceling it. I said it was canceled. That's what was the title of my last of the stream I did before this. But it may come back. I may decide to do like little short recorded videos when there's big news coming out, 1 or 2 headlines at a time that I just upload throughout a week. It's which is an idea that I've had before, but I'm not doing that right now. It's not in the plans. I'd say my stream schedule, this new stream schedule, the shows and everything, will stay in place into January, likely. So that's about how long things last on here. Well, 3 or 4 months, and then I kind of feel like, I might want to tweak something. But I feel like the Big Gobble, this format of the stream, I can maybe do some things with it, and I don't have to like completely rename a show, bring out a new thing all the time. So yeah, don't forget to smash that like button, y'all. And yes. So speaking of the Hitchhiking Bones, they will be live for Hitchhiker Chat in about 15 minutes. Always a great time, a time of ghoulish delight, to use a Haunted Mansion term. What else? Oh, I was going to show you guys this. Let me do this really extremely quick. I'm not leaving yet. This is something, I will go into this a little more detail. This is something that was found in my grandma's things. Dawn, I mentioned to you this on the phone somewhat recently. This is a complete guide to Walt Disney World. And this is from, it's copyright 1976, Walt Disney Productions. This is the kicker. I know I mentioned this to you, Dawn. They've got this little blue box here about readmission at Magic Kingdom. It says, if you wish to leave the Magic Kingdom and return later the same day at no extra charge, please have your hand stamped at the exit gate as you leave. And I was reading that, and I'm just thinking about how technology has changed. Now we have our phones, and we've got we scan it, or we have, the Magic Bands, now the Magic Band Plus. We do the thumbprint. And, back then they were like, oh, if you want to come back and not be charged, stamp your hands. And, Tina remembers that. So, yeah. So there's a thing here. All guests may purchase ticket books at the Transportation and Ticket Center. There. So, they have all the ticket. They have the 8 adventure ticket book, 12 adventure ticket book, 17 adventure 2-day ticket book. It's been a while since I looked through here. Here's a picture of Main Street, USA. There. The OG look of the castle. Walt Disney World Railroad. Board an old-fashioned steam train for a grand circle tour of the entire Magic Kingdom. Boy, that'll be fun to do that again. So I'm going to look through here again and kind of see what I see. There's some Hitchhiking Ghosts and the Liberty Bell. Dawn, it says in the front, it's copyright. It says it's copyright 1976. Walt Disney Productions. That's really the only hint that I of like what year this was. You see what else? Yeah, that's the only really clue I have. Here's a promo for the original Freaky Friday. I don't think I've seen that, but I think it's on Disney Plus now. What else? Fort Wilderness, and that was an original play. So anyway, I'm gonna look through that, and look through and see what was really interesting, and what they had. We're gonna talk about your complete guide to the 1976 Walt Disney World. If you want to get back in, you gotta have your hand stamped. All right. Now, if you want to come back next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, you do not have to have your hand stamped, but I would recommend you make sure you are subscribed and you have your notification bell rung to all notifications. See what I did there? Nice little segue. Anyway, so yeah. So now in 10 minutes, go see the Hitchhiking Bones or Hitchhiker Chat. And I will see you next time. So thanks to everyone for coming in, all you wonderful friends watching live, watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. Diana, I see you asking about the prices. There are some prices listed. I will gonna look through that again more closely, and I'll go into all of that next week. But I almost forgot that I had it. We also might play a game next week. Who knows? So with that, everyone take care. Have a gobble-tastic night. And I'll see you next time. I'll see you Thursday. Once upon a turkey leg. Gonna read some fun stories. All right. Take care, everybody. There's a great